It is Tuesday the 7th, and time to take a look at our stocks, of which we are stopped out of all of them. Looks like we should have sold a little bit of that UNFI at the volume weighted average price from the peak. We were looking for $8 or greater. Anyways, the way this trade worked out is we purchased it at 9.15. We took a third off with a gain of 30 cents per share, and then on 2/3, we lost 2 cents per share. So on average, we gained 10 cents per share, or about 1%. And again, this is why we take partial off, so that when the stock comes back down, we're able to escape without a loss. Shares of GO, we got involved at 35.22. We took a third off with a gain of 28 cents, another third with a gain of $2.78, and we were stopped out of the balance today with a gain of $1.18. And on average, we gained $1.41 in shares of GO. That's about 4%, and we are done with that one for now. Shares of INO, we got stopped out of as well. We got involved at 8.17, took a third off with a gain of 33 cents. We did sell some today at $9. That was good for a gain of 83 cents per share, and we were stopped out of the balance with a gain of 2 pennies per share. So on average, we made 43 cents, or 5.2%, in our 2 days in INO. And again, this is the type of the market that we're in. They are all considered highly risky stocks, all of them. I can't find one exception to that. This is why they are only watch list ideas. I'm not making official swing trade ideas. We are still too volatile in both directions. Names to keep an eye on: Chewy has returned to where we purchased it last week. That doesn't mean we're purchasing it again. We're just looking at this saying, we had a nice trade in it. We got out before the earnings, and that was a good thing, because the way that this worked out is, we took nice profits. We moved to the sidelines. The stock is pulled all the way back. Now it's at a potential level of support. We're not fools. We don't buy because we think there might be support there. What we do is we say this is a level of interest. This prior resistance tends to act as support, and it seems to be stabilizing here along with a rising 20-day moving average. Those are generally bullish signals. So what we do is we look to the shorter term time frame to say, are the buyers regaining control? Well, number one, we're below a declining 5-day moving average. So the answer is no. We are clearly early. Now, the volume weighted average price off the peak is also ahead. So it's clearly early in the stock. And I'm mentioning this more because I don't have a lot of other ideas to talk about. I have two that are still, I think, actionable tomorrow. But I wanted to bring this up because people tend to fall in love with a stock because it was good to them once. You love it on the way over here. You love it more and more and more, and your confidence moves in direct proportion to the price. And if you didn't get stopped out right here, then you're wondering, oh, what do I do? What do I do now? Oh, it's back to support. Maybe I should buy some more. No, it's making lower highs and lower lows below a declining 5-day moving average. It's one that I'm going to continue to monitor, but it's not going to be ready for another day or two. GTLS, let's look at this one. Weekly time frame is broken, obviously, like all daily time frames pretty much. The volume weighted average price from that gap lower, the stock is trying to hold. So let's look at a 65-minute time frame and make some sense of these levels. From this big level, well, we just broke through it today. So the average participant who thought they were buying deals on the way down is now losing money. What about from the low? Well, they're pretty close to losing money. So what we want to do is go over to the 30-minute time frame and then take a look at this and say, what do we want to see? What we'd like to see tomorrow is a rally up towards, let's say, 25.65-ish. And then to short it if and only if it is below the 1 and 2 day VWAP. The 2-day VWAP tomorrow is today's VWAP plus whatever portion, if we're 15 minutes into the day, it's 1 day plus 15 minutes. That's what I call the 2-day volume weighted average price. So we want to see it rally up, and we want to see it below tomorrow's VWAP and the 2-day VWAP, and then short it with a stop at $27.40 per share, just above this little peak right here. So we want to see a rally up to at least 25.65, short it below the 1 and 2 day volume weighted average price if they are flattened out. It's not just a, hey, do this, do that. There's an art to trading, and art is especially important in this type of environment where things move so quickly and you cannot chase in either direction. So again, the stop would be 27.40. Very similar setup in NVCR. NVCR, the weekly time frame, it rallied up to this prior support. That support looks to be holding as resistance now. We go over to the daily time frame, and what do we see? We see that the stock tried to get moving today. Big outside day. Outside meaning it traded a higher high and it traded a lower low and completely engulfed it. The high was high, or the open was higher than yesterday's high, and the close was below yesterday's low. So looking at a 30-minute time frame to try to make sense of that, one, we can look at, from failed moves come fast moves. We've seen it a couple times in this stock. And what we want to look at, though, of course, is where has it come from? Well, it's just come from 71 to 64. Do we want to short it here? You're out of your mind if you say yes, because the answer is no, we don't want to short it. What we want to do is see if maybe it can rally up a little bit. If it's below, at least if it holds below the week to date and today's VWAP, then we want to look at it as a potential candidate. So maybe it rallies up towards 65.50-ish and then begins to turn below tomorrow's volume weighted average price. Well, then we would want to short it, and initially our stop would go above this little afternoon high right here. So a stop would go above 67.30. If you think that you can subscribe to services that just say, hey, buy it here and sell it there without any explanation or understanding of how the market works, you're going to find that you have terrible results. If you take the time to listen and understand how the market works and be more discerning in the trades you take, you're going to be involved in the market longer. You're going to be taking profits in stocks like UNFI and NGO and INO and not falling in love with stories like Chewy, and instead being objective and saying these are all just stocks, and stocks are stupid. They're a way for us to trade and make money. I'm done preaching. Have a good night.